Hello, I'm Kenny. I'm studying civil engineering at UW-Milwaukee.
And I'm Milo, I'm studying mechanical engineering.
Our experiment was to create a robotic cucumber plant.
Cucumbers are originally from India, but of course they grow all over the world now.
As the cucumber plant grows, it sends out tendrils in search of some kind of support. A tendril will creep along the ground until it touches an object.
After it hits the object, it will change the shape of its cells and curl itself around the object so that it'll drag itself up to another point. To mimic a plant, we tried to mimic each individual component of the plant. So starting with the roots, we used this as sort of ground cover, and then right here, this is the root structure of our plant. Attached to this motor, which connects to the base right here, and this motor spins our tendril on this base around the root structure. So this box right here is the controller for the robot, and what it does is receive signals from the sensors, such as this sensor right here. It also sends out signals to the motors in the robot, such as this motor and also this motor.
The next thing we tried to replicate was the tendril. We did this by having this arm. One of our challenges when creating this robot was to replicate how the tendril moves. We tried replicating it by having a system of rubber bands to try and have this part, the end of the tendril, move faster than the base of the tendril.
Another design challenge that we tried to think through was how to position the motor control unit right here. Initially, we had it sitting off to the side controlling our robot, but that presented problems because the cable would become twisted as the base rotated. So what we wound up doing, as you can see, is positioning this control unit on top of the base so that the cable did not get tangled up into itself. So now, for your viewing pleasure, we'll give you a brief demonstration of our cucumber robot.
As you can see, when the touch sensor finally hits the stick, it'll move around and wrap around the stick. It's very interesting to try and replicate the tendril because it's not like how human hands are, where we have tendons that will grab onto the bone and it wraps. In tendrils, it's the expanding and contracting of cells on the tendril, which is extremely hard to replicate with mechanical materials.
So like Kenny said, this is a tough thing to replicate, and a lot of it's because of the scale, the time scale of which all of this happens. So a cucumber plant is moving maybe a couple revolutions per day. And so what we had to do was use these mechanical components to mimic this biological sort of motion, and that was pretty difficult. So this is pretty great.
Yeah, a lot of fun doing this, man.